Hey, we're the Flick Chicks.
I'm Anne.
And I'm Monica.
And this is the episode where we randomly belt into song.
Okay, yeah, speak for yourself. I will not embarrass myself by singing on here.
I cannot promise the same. I have no
I mean, who knows where the night will take us, but I'm not going to do that to myself right now.
So if you guys couldn't tell by the title of this episode, we're going to be discussing movie musicals.
My personal favorite type of movie, if I'm quite honest. Well, probably one.
It's one of my favorites.
I was gonna say, maybe not. Like maybe it goes head to head with like thriller movies, but like movie musicals have been with me forever. Yes. You know, I grew up on them, and I still to this day like it's just been a constant in my life. You know.
Yes. No, for sure. They definitely. I would say they. Like I grew up with them for sure. They're like an integral part of my childhood, and also they're a big reason why like movie music soundtracks and all that stuff is because of movie musicals, because they're, I guess, the most simplest form of like music in a movie, and then you can go on to score and stuff, but they're like the most blatant, obvious, like how music can affect a movie, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and like as you might know, a lot of movie musicals are usually brought from Broadway musicals. Yes. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And I mean, even growing up, like we grew up with like, I mean, I feel like sometimes I forget that High School Musical, Camp Rock, all of those like movies that we grew up with were movie musicals, you know, just any movie where they just break into song. But like, you know, I feel like it's just like there's it's just a constant in everyone's life. I feel like even if you don't particularly like them, you've probably at least seen one in your life. Yes. And like you just can't deny that it just makes you happy, you know.
It does. It gives me a little
serotonin boost, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
So yeah, I mean, like we have just a list here of a bunch of you know, notable movie musicals. We could go on forever, but you know, Hairspray, The Sound of Music, Grease, Wizard of Oz, La La Land, Chicago, Les Mis, A Star Is Born. Like there's too many to count.
There are a lot,
but pretty much I feel like almost every Broadway musical, like every like big one has probably been turned into a movie, or at least attempted. Because I mean, there's the whole issue of like, you know, accessibility for Broadway shows. You know, not everyone can go watch a Broadway show. It is quite expensive. It is, and they don't always come to every city and etc. So you know,
limited features and stuff.
It's like it's a very like big priority. I feel like with Broadway shows to turn it into movies right away, because like that could give you a lot of, like, it gets you a lot of money, and it allows more people to be exposed to the story.
To want to maybe see it on Broadway too is also
exactly
a big thing too.
And then you have like the original musicals who are kind of trying to emulate the Broadway musical, but have they done it successfully? I don't know.
I think we will stay tuned and find out what we think about those.
So I guess we're just gonna talk about some of our personal favorite movie musicals. This is very difficult because there's a lot for me. But yeah, just so we can get a little sense of what we like to roll with.
Yep, I think so. Okay, so do you want to go first, or do you want?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Well, just some of my we're talking about hits and misses here. So some of my hits in terms of movie musicals. Pitch Perfect, I think, is one of the best original movie musicals I think that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
So some people would, I guess we would discuss that. Some people wouldn't consider Pitch Perfect a musical, because a lot of people have different definitions.
Maybe because some people cover songs, probably.
Not even that, but they think like if people are aware that they're singing, then it's not a musical. Some people think of it like that. So I see. Them breaking into song is actually normal, like they should be singing because it's like a singing competition. They wouldn't put it as like maybe like the classic version of what a musical is, which is when people sing to move the story along, and it's like everybody's singing. It's not weird that, you know, two people are singing in a corner. So
that's true, because usually movie musicals like the songs are part of the narrative of the story.
Exactly.
That's not really the case. It's still classified as a musical movie, but I guess I could see why it wouldn't.
Some people would,
not
like,
traditional. It's also all cover songs. There are no original songs. I mean, at least not till the second movie, but I still think in terms of like, including, I think the reason why I think it's one of the better modern ones is because it's like cover songs, and because it kind of moves away from the traditional movie musical where they just kind of break into song. It kind of flips it on its head a little bit, but still like it kind of sneaks it in there, because you don't feel like you're watching a musical, but then at the end you're like, no, it's pretty much a musical. But I think like it's gonna be so iconic. Like it's already iconic, but I think it's gonna just be a classic.
It's hilarious.
It even like it made a whole bunch of songs popular too.
Like or revive their
popularity
with
revive
younger
the popularity
people.
Like introduce, like I hate when people are like, oh, you only know about this song because of this, but it's like that's the whole point. It's like people do this kind of thing to introduce to introduce songs to people. Like I remember like as a kid I used to watch a lot of Glee. Like this is very known fact. I was like a huge Glee fan, and like everyone's like, oh, Glee keeps ruining all these covers, blah blah blah. Like okay, sure, but you have to like think about how many songs or how many artists they're introducing to you by doing that. And like I learned about so many artists that I would not have probably known about if it weren't for Glee. So like I don't mind that at all. I
feel like it's so weird that people kind of don't want success for things at times. Like that's the vibe I get. Like they're like, ew, it's popular, and I'm like, so you want the artist to be starving and dying forever? Like do you not want success? Like I just feel like I'm like, yeah, maybe if you discovered them first you can feel good about that, like be like, oh, I've been a fan since day one, but you should feel like happy that other people are now joining the club, because
who cares how they found it, the whole point of like you want people to find music only in a specific way. Like that's just stupid to me. But anyways,
and covers aren't even bad because they do give credit to the artist. I think it would be weirder if they were singing these songs. If they were singing these songs and not giving credit, then for sure you could be like, oh, it's ruining it because people don't know the origin. But if they're clear about the origin, which Glee usually is, so I haven't really been confused,
But anyways, that's a bit off topic. Point is, Pitch Perfect, I think, like, I've watched it too many times to count, but I think it did a really good job as just, like, having the music. I mean, I feel like even if they were covers, it was kind of part of the story, like, the whole riff-off scene and the competition, like, scenes or whatever. It was part of, like, the narrative, I guess, and no,
it did a good thing. It's a good movie. I love it. It's like one of my favorite movies.
Sorry, I should probably move on because we're also going to be talking about this for hours, but one of my favorite, I think, movie musicals is Hairspray. I just like, if I'm feeling sad, if I'm feeling like, I'll put Hairspray on, instant serotonin boost, instant. Like it's just it's such a classic, like, typical musical. Like it has the exact musical format, the kind of not ridiculous, it's a pretty realistic setting, but the kind of like ridiculous,
over the top,
over the top portrayal of it, and the songs, colorful. Hello, like the songs are so good. Oh my gosh,
the soundtrack, I know
everyone knows at least one song from Hairspray. Don't lie to me right now. So and I think the movie in particular, I've never seen the actual show live. I've seen like clips and stuff like that.
So I can fill in the blanks just in case we have.
But I think like the movie was pretty well done. Like I know of some changes that they made to kind of make more sense for the screen. But like they took out a couple numbers and stuff like that. But I think the movie was fine on its own.
You know what? The movie did a really good job. Hot take. I think the movie is better than the play.
I was gonna say that, but I haven't seen the musical, so I didn't want to overstep a little bit. But like from what I've seen, I think the movie is a little bit better. I mean, it has Zac Efron in it. Hello, like,
ooh, that was. I'm not even like a Zac Efron like person.
Me neither.
I don't know
Zac Efron
in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the swoop and the curl.
And I also what's his name? Oh my god, I can't believe I just forgot his name.
Seaweed, like the guy.
Yes. Oh my god, Seaweed. Oh. Don't even get me started.
Oh, fine. And, the waves.
Woo!
Like swim in your shore.
Oh my god! And I think the movie allowed, because this musical has some really big like numbers, big like dance numbers. So the movie allowed it to be even bigger and more like the whole Run and Tell That number. Beautiful. Fantastic. The whole like they're moving through the town, they're on the bus, and whatever. Like you can't do that on a stage. It's fantastic.
This is what I'm gonna say. Yeah. Also. Spoiler, Hairspray is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah,
too.
We can interlap our favorites if there's any overlap.
For sure. And because I have seen the play, it's so first of all, one of the biggest changes that they did in the movie that I thought was way better was Little Inez, which is Seaweed's little sister, ends up winning Miss
Oh,
Hairspray.
they did change that, yeah.
But that was not a thing in the
original one, yeah.
in the original like Broadway play. And I think that was a good change. Like it was like I feel like that was natural. Like,
it made sense.
That's
what it just makes sense the way it happened in the movie.
It was and also there's just like a couple songs they took out. The songs that they took out, like I get why they had to, but they're still good.
They're not really that
but
relevant.
just overall, like the theatrics that they did in, like, this is one of the best, like the best, like they took the material and then did it, like amped it up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you said, things that can't be done on stage, they use the, you know, their advantages with movie magic to make it more intense. Right? Like Run and Tell That, like on stage, still a good song, but it was like in the Broadway play, it's usually just done in the classroom, like, you know, the detention room.
Yeah, exactly.
And he just sings it there because, you know, like
they can't really move through the stage, but on the movie it makes it so much more epic. And I love
it's
that.
So cool.
Also, another one that I'm thinking of is the duet. It's like Without Love, I think that's what it's called.
Oh yeah.
In the musical, it's like told in the when she's in prison. It's a different part. It's like
they
kind of change that part of the story, but it's
they all get
it's just a duet between her and Link or whatever in the prison. But in the movie, they kind of show her being like a fugitive on the run kind of thing, which is kind of funny. But anyways, so yeah, Hairspray, amazing. Yeah, there's some stuff. They
even some, like, I feel like they even made it more, even though Hairspray was already pushing the boundaries in terms of like addressing certain issues and stuff, I think the movie made it even more appropriate because there were some scenes in the Broadway musical, namely like there's one scene where you know how what's her name, like the one who ends up with Seaweed, like Amanda Bynes' character. Penny's mom, you know, is like super religious and like would kill her if she was like with a black man at the time. Because so in the Broadway musical, she ends up like coming around, like turning around and being like, oh, it's fine because he's such a handsome chocolate man. And I was like, no, thank you. So I was like, thank God they didn't go with that, and they just kind of like.
I think it's a great movie. Like, it's just so happy, and I will always love it. Just to move on really quick, The Sound of Music. I've seen both the musical. Yeah, I've seen both the musical and the movie, and I think it's just a matter of like. The movie just does a really good job at telling the story. They didn't change anything. It's pretty much exactly the same thing, which is why the movie is so long. I think it's like over 2 hours. It's like almost 3 hours because it's basically the exact same thing. But I mean, I like when a musical gets known for both the show and the movie. That's how you know you did a movie good, like well, I think, is if, you know, when I think of The Sound of Music, like a lot of people might think of the movie, but I think a lot of people too think of the play too. So the movie's really good. Julie Andrews, like, that's her thing. I watch the movie every year on Christmas. So
cute.
And then also this one, so Mamma Mia. I've never seen the play, but the movie, I don't care what anyone says.
I did not know that it was a play before.
Oh yeah, my mom watched it when it like came to Toronto, I'm pretty sure.
Oh shoot,
the show.
That's wild.
Mamma Mia is, if there's any of these that's like other than Sound of Music, because that's like we're talking like since I was born, but like my actual childhood was Mamma Mia. Like I remember I watched it in theaters when it came out, and then since then I've seen it like I could literally recite the movie to you. I swear to God. It's just so fun. It's so great. I love Mamma Mia.
Yeah, it's a big hit among those. How did you feel about Mamma Mia too?
I didn't mind it. Really, it was okay.
Reviews about it.
Like it doesn't have. Yeah, it was a pretty, like, it was pretty decent. I think just because Mamma Mia has that nostalgia attached to me because I like watched it when I was like it's been a part of me for so long. Yeah, it's just not the same. But I didn't mind it at all.
Okay.
But no, I just as a movie, like I love the setting, because in the musical you can't really get that like Greek island setting, but you know you can actually go to a Greek island and film the movie. True. And the like again things that you can't really do on stage that they get to do on screen, like the whole why am I forgetting all of my song titles today?
I know, right? It's like we didn't.
Oh, now I have to sing it. Lay all your love on me. That's one. When they sing it on the beach with like all the dudes. Like amazing, fantastic. And Dancing Queen, like they go through the town. Anyways, you get the point. My last one that I think is really notable is Dreamgirls. This is one of those ones I think is more known for the movie than it is the musical. I think because also the musical is a bit older. It's from the 80s, I'm pretty sure. But Dreamgirls was like Beyonce, Jennifer Hudson's breakthrough role.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Like, it's just...
Anita Noni Rose, who is in one of my faves, Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
We love it.
So, I mean, that movie also was just really great, too.
The music is bopping.
I was going to say, the song's iconic. There's some songs from this I didn't even know until I watched Dreamgirls. I didn't even know it was part of... Like, it was a soundtrack song.
Yeah.
Like, I think I always mix those two songs up. Is it And I'm Telling You? Is that the one that's from Dreamgirls? I don't remember.
I don't really know.
And
like
you,
and
you. Isn't that one?
Yeah, that's in the song. That's in the movie for sure.
Yes, I didn't know that was part of it. I didn't know that was the soundtrack. I thought that was just somebody's song.
Oh, I mean?
Like I didn't know it was part of it.
Yeah,
yeah. So, anyways, yep, those are my favorites. I think
yes, very good.
Just did what they had to do in terms of movies.
I think I totally agree with all of these. None of them am I like, like, you know.
Oh yeah, no,
for sure. None that I think that I would be like,
So which ones are your favorites? Yeah.
As I said, Hairspray, one of my favorites of all time. Hairspray like awoke my like final love for like you know, where I was aware, like I'm like, this is it for me. Like when I was younger, I just knew that some of these movies had music, but Hairspray was like a full-on musical, and I was very aware, and I loved it.
The songs are so like, I honestly I think I'm gonna watch Hairspray today. It's just you can't go wrong. It's such a great movie.
It's so good. Also Pitch Perfect is, I didn't put it, like when I saw it on your list, I was like, it is one of my faves, so I'll put it, but I wouldn't necessarily name it if people asked me what my favorite musicals were, because I think more traditional personally. Oops, if I hit my thing, sorry. This is the musical I grew up with. I used to watch it every single day after school, and it is Annie. Oh my gosh, the 1982 version, of course. Haven't even seen the other one. Don't even touch me on that one. I just like I've never watched wrong.
I've only watched the new one in theaters, but I don't
really
remember. Yeah, I don't even remember it.
Which one though? The new one or the new one where she's black?
There's a new one that's not where she's not black.
Yeah, there was like a second.
I've seen the one where I saw the one with Jamie Foxx and
Monica.
I can't.
You have to go back and watch the real Annie. I'm sorry. Just
I just know the Hard Knock Life, and
it's a hard knock life for us.
I barely even know what the story's about.
In the real original, there's like little girls doing gymnastic flips everywhere. Like, I'm telling you, this movie, at its time, I was like, how did they do this? Where did they find these kids? Like, I was just, it's so good. When they announced the Annie with Jamie Foxx and whatever, I was actually upset because I was like, I am Black Annie. Are you kidding? Like, I was like, I know this song.
Why did they hire you?
Why did they contact me? Like, I was actually butthurt, but it's fine. We'll move on from that. You know, I just think Annie is so good. She has such charm, the little girl. She had afro hair, even though she was a little white girl. Like, I was like, yeah, I see you. I relate to you. It's just... It's so good. Oh, you need to watch it. You have to go watch it. Do yourself a favor, everybody. Go back in time travel to 1982. It's beautiful, especially too. You danced. I just remember I used to do jazz when I was younger, and there's like a scene where they do the kicks, the fan kicks, and I'm like, I want to do that. So I was so excited about that. So, anyways, I could go on and on about Annie, but it's beautiful. I know all the songs.
I mean, it is a classic.
It is. I think even if people don't know musicals, they know about Annie just because, like, you know, it's just an iconic look, you know. My other one is Enchanted. I'm a Disney girl, so I'm gonna pick this one. I love the songs. Made me fall in love with Patrick Dempsey again. I was a big fan of him in like Can't Buy Me Love, but then I was gonna say
Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, for you, yeah,
I just know him from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, so I was like, this man can do no wrong, and this like made me believe in vocal training again, because like Amy Adams is not like a singer
she's
first.
Not a singer, but she did really good.
Exactly, they vocally trained her to death.
So,
you know,
what was the excuse for La La Land? That's what I want to know. There was no excuse.
That's literally why I get so mad, because I'm like, I could even Pitch Perfect, Monica. Anna Kendrick is not a singer either.
Wait, she was like, not?
No, she was just
Hold
like,
on.
"Oh, I'm
No,
an actress."
You're lying. What?
No, I'm not. I
This
saw
girl
an interview.
this girl releases like songs and like she was in that other musical now too. What?
Because she found a love for it after doing Pitch Perfect. Like she was like, "Yo, this is kind of cool." Like she was like not trying to do singing, but then she got cast for Pitch Perfect.
Are
and
you
she's
sure?
Like,
Because according to her Google thing, she's been in Broadway musicals since she was a kid.
Wow. I don't know. In that interview, she said like we went to musical boot camp and then she had to learn.
I mean, I'm
all
sure
over
she had to like improve, I guess,
Yeah.
but it says she literally won a Tony Award in like 1998.
Okay, let's discount everything I just said. I guess she just didn't like to sing. She wanted to just
Maybe
be
it
an
wasn't her
actress, and
thing,
then-
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, and then she's like, okay,
But she
that's
clearly
fine.
was okay at it, so.
Yeah, she's okay at it. Anyways, though, okay, let's not put her in the category. But point blank period is that you can train anybody. Okay,
Yeah,
you can do
exactly.
it. You know who else got trained? This is serious. Kristen Bell got trained for Frozen.
Shut up.
That's
what?
true.
I thought
she
she just
may-
like was one of those people that could sing, just didn't do it.
Sure, but like to be able to sing like those high notes in like a
Wow.
musical, they trained her vocally too. Again,
See, who is responsible for La La Land? I just want to talk to you for a second.
I'm just like, y'all can do you. I don't get it because Ryan Gosling learned to play piano for the movie, so it's called Learn to Sing too. I don't understand. Do that too. Put it in the package.
Man.
Okay, we're gonna go.
Amy
we're gonna get
Adams,
too
you
much
are the
into it.
blueprint.
Yes, I always put her as the biggest example of like you can teach anybody. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
My other one, I also grew up with this one a lot. Not as much as Annie because that was a daily thing, but this one's good.
Mm-hmm.
The Wizard of Oz. It was a big deal when I was a kid. I loved
I remember
it.
watching it when I was young.
I wanted to dress up like Dorothy, have her little shoes clink clink clink. You know, get back home.
Did you know that
a big
was
fan.
the first like major movie that was released in color?
Yes, I heard about
I
that.
think that's
which
so
I was
interesting.
like, that's wild.
Mhm.
I think it's so cool. I think it's funny too. I like the way they talk. You know, I don't know how to, but the old way talking.
oh,
just because of them.
oh my god, yeah.
This is the microphone. Like I just feel like it's great. I was a big fan of it.
Yeah.
It's just a classic, so that's why I had to put it in there. But those are my hits, pretty much overall.
Yeah, that makes
I guess
sense.
I can go straight. I don't have that many misses, so I can just go into them.
Right.
Some of them I overlap. I think we both think that Les Mis was a kind of a miss.
Yeah, I don't think it's a terrible movie. Don't get me
No.
wrong, but I just, I don't know. I watched the musical, and I think the
Mhm.
musical is a lot
Musical
better of an experience to watch.
Les Mis, like on Broadway, is my
It's a
favorite, hands
classic.
down favorite Broadway play I've ever seen. Like live
It's my second
for me.
favorite.
Yeah,
It's pretty
I
obvious
sh-
which one's my favorite, but I'll get into that after. But
yeah. It's
my second favorite that I've seen. I watched it
I
on
was
my
like,
birthday, actually.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. No, like I didn't even know going in. My aunt was just a big fan, and she was like, "We have to go whenever they come in Toronto." And I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
whatever." I was like, "I'm never upset by Broadway musicals," and I kid you not, I cried. My dad
No, it's
cried.
a
like
really
it was
fantastic
that good.
musical. You could tell
It's
it's like made
beautiful.
for the stage, and like I see
It
what they were
is.
trying to do with the movie. Like I said, it's not a
Yeah.
bad movie. I would still watch it.
Mhm.
However, again, where's the
It's just-
vocal training? You know,
I know.
where is the vocal training? Where is the
Yeah.
star like they just tried to put in some famous actors, but I mean, no
Mhm.
offense to I can't remember anyone's
The
name.
main
Anne
guy?
Hathaway. No, I was gonna say Anne Hathaway.
Oh.
No offense to her, but when you give someone a song like "I Dreamed a Dream," you need a singer,
You need
especially
a powerhouse,
because they had live action singing in the movie, which I was gonna get into later, but I might as well say now. I do think that their use of live singing for the movie was a really, really good choice, especially for a musical like Les Mis, because the whole point of Les Mis, it's a very like gritty, like it's a struggle.
Sad.
Like it's the whole movie is just a struggle.
Mhm.
So to have the live singing kind of added this emotion to it, I think that you wouldn't get from a recording.
Yeah.
However, when you have people that aren't singers, it kind of backfires on you a little bit. Also,
It's just-
Hugh Grant
I don't know
is
why
just
they
not,
didn't cast.
Hugh Grant. Oh my God, Hugh Jackman is just not my favorite actor.
Oh,
I'm
the
not a
period?
big fan of his. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of his at all.
Yeah.
So
He's okay. I don't have any feelings about him, but I thought for me, I was like, for me personally, Eponine is my favorite character in the. She has the best songs. That's literally just how I feel.
Of course.
So I'm like, why didn't they cast Leah Solange? Like, I don't understand.
She's right there.
She's an actress.
Yeah.
She did Mulan. She's already a household name. Why would you not get her? Like, just do it. I don't understand.
Like I said,
not that the other girl, like, I don't feel any ways about the girl who did it. I'm like, why wouldn't
like,
you just get
I think in general the casting for the movie was just really weird. Like, there was like super famous people and then super unknown people at the same time, and it just didn't really make any sense in my opinion.
Right? Like, I didn't Amanda Seyfried, I was like, Seyfried? Sorry. I was just like,
yeah.
Seyfried, sorry.
I think that's how you say it. I don't know.
I was just like, oh, okay. Like, I just was like
it's just, it's a very interesting group of people that they picked. I don't know if it was the right choice,
especially too that they had already made the movie has already been made as a movie. Like, sorry, this show, Les Mis is originally a play first. It's a play first, so they had made the play into a movie. So I'm like, okay, well, if you're not going for the movie aspect, then lean into the musical aspect. So then why wouldn't you just cast, like, I don't know, weird.
Yeah, anyways, the point is it's just one of those things where the movie was like, meh, it's a lot better on stage. Yes. It's made for Broadway.
They also, there's no competition. Like, I feel bad for them too, because the Broadway play is just amazing. You really had a hard okay, my other miss, to no surprise, La La Land. I don't think we need to
I didn't even put that in mind.
Yeah,
we you know, you can go listen to our review of La La Land
about it. They can't sing. That's all I gotta say.
They can't sing, and the songs are not good either.
No, they don't. It doesn't feel like a musical. That's what I have to say.
Like, they tried. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I can see what they were trying to do, but it just didn't work.
And also, it's from, like, musicals, it's a very slice of life kind of musical, and I'm not with that. Like, I don't like this whole, like, nothing actually happens. I feel like musicals, we could talk about this later. I feel like musicals, to me, were made to push boundaries, you know, as in, like,
like, if you're gonna already have if you're already gonna have random, oh my god, I just knocked my desk, if you're already gonna have random, like, burst into songs, like, whatever, you might as well make it a little over the top, you know what I mean? Like, nobody's checking for you at that point. Like, no one's gonna be like, what, that doesn't make sense. Like, you already have musical numbers
at the end. I need to clap at the end of the song. Okay, my last miss personally is, I can't say too much about this one because I have not seen the original play, but Into the Woods, the movie, I didn't feel anything. Like, I just felt
that one kind of flew under the radar. I haven't watched the play or the movie, but I don't really have the attention.
It's honestly, I don't know what it is, and that's my problem with it. It's like an enigma in my mind, because I'm like, the casting was great. Anna Kendrick, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, like, they had a lot of people who are apparently have a musical background. Jeez, Anna Kendrick. And I think it just seemed like it was gonna be good. Chris Pine too is fine too. I like him.
Chris Pine could breathe, and I would be like, yes, thank you.
Ooh! So I really didn't understand why I didn't like it, but it was boring. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Yeah, it was pretty.
I had no intention of watching it. I watched, like, the Cinema Sins, you know, when they go through all the, like, I watched that. Yes, and it was pretty entertaining because there's a lot. There's a lot of them.
It was just weird. It was not.
Yeah, I haven't seen either of them, but it just doesn't seem like it was.
But
that
I like
great.
the concept. Like, the idea behind it is the dark version of a fairy tale. So like Cinderella, who's not actually in love with the prince, she realizes, like, she's like, bruh, like, I just married this guy, didn't know, kind of things, small things like that. So I think the idea is good. That's why I'm like, maybe the play or the actual Broadway show is really good.
Maybe, but it's an older one.
It just didn't translate into the movie, according to me. So those are my misses.
Yeah, no, I mean, mine, again, Les Mis was one of mine. I think it's kind of a general consensus that the Cats movie should have never happened. I haven't seen it,
but I watched a video from this wonderful YouTuber, and she does bad movies in a beat, and she cried because it was that bad. And I was like
no, literally, I haven't seen the play and I haven't seen the movie, but my mom watched the play, like, a whole bunch of times, and she literally saw the trailer for the movie, and she was like, no, I'm not watching that. And you know, it's known that Cats was a terrible movie. I mean, that's the whole point, though, is, like, sometimes the over the topness, I guess, of musicals doesn't translate to screen. Because I mean, on stage it's like, okay, yeah, they're dressed as cats, but then when you're trying to CGI, you know, faces onto cat, it just doesn't work. Just don't do it. It was weird. Also, I said the Phantom of the Opera, so I'm pretty sure there's like a million Phantom of the Opera movies, but I'm talking specifically about I think it's like from 2004. That's the one I've seen. It's that girl in it. What's her name? Hold on, I'm just looking her up right now. She's that one lady, like that girl. She's in a whole bunch of things. Anyways, as I'm really looking for it, yeah, I know it's been turned into a bunch of movies, but I'm specifically talking about the one from 2004 or 5 that I watched. It's just meh, boring. You know, I watched the play, and I think the play is a lot more interesting to watch. Yes. Like, the story itself, like, not much happens, really. Like, it's not, like, a super, you know, action-packed story. But I think it just works better for the play because it's a simpler story. You know what I mean? Yeah. It works because when you try to put it on screen, like, nothing really happens. Yeah.
Because there's an awe of like, being in person. Like, you're like, ooh, they're singing in my face. But, like, on TV, you're kind of like, okay, well.
Okay, wait. I found the girl. Emmy Rossum. It's the girl from Shameless. You know the show Shameless?
No, I haven't watched the show. So
okay, if you've seen Shameless, it's the main girl from Shameless. She was in the Phantom of the Opera movie, and
really?
She was fine, I guess. But it's that movie, and I don't think the movie was that great. I think the musical is much better. Yeah. And then also I put West Side Story. So again, I haven't seen the play, I think, but I've seen like okay, listen, people are gonna laugh at this. I haven't seen the play, but I have seen, you know, a bunch of like productions of it, some of them being like in the episode of Glee. You know, in the episode of Glee they put on the musical, so I thought they had a bunch of different what's it called, musical numbers from it. But again, I just think the movie in general, I know it's weird because they whitewashed Maria in the movie. No thank you. In the movie, it's just like it's an old movie.
Are they not both Latino in the?
No,
they also painted the guy dark, didn't they?
I don't know. Too? It was a mess. The boy is supposed to be Italian and the girl is Latina.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So they're part of
because they like. I remember seeing a picture. I've never actually seen the whole thing, but
I remember seeing weird. A picture. I don't really like it.
And he was like, they like kind of darkened his skin. Like I guess, you know, because Italians can be a little darker in complexion, but it was like you could tell.
But they definitely that was
not his. Yeah,
I mean, rest in peace to her. I know the actress like died in a really mysterious way, but yeah, it was a weird story. Wow. I watched a BuzzFeed Unsolved.
No, I'm excited for the remake.
I was gonna say, so I'm excited about the remake because I think, you know, it just sucks because the movie, it's a really old musical, so the movie was in like the 60s. So I'm just excited for it to get a new remake because the 60s couldn't really capture it really that well. Because of the editing, like God, the editing is so like you watch it and you're like, okay, yep, they didn't have any editing technology back then, and
I hope they stay true to it though. I don't want them to like,
and also it's just the actors were just young, like really young, or not that young. Sorry, I meant old. Like the characters are supposed to be younger, but the actors were like, older. I don't know. The movie is just you know, it's just yeah. I can't wait for the remake, but yeah.
It's sad that all these movies that we knew like are lined up are gonna be like way later, which sucks, but it is what it is.
Oh my God, there was one that I just wanted to talk about, but I totally forgot to add it in when I was writing it. But A Star Is Born, I think is super overrated. Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper.
I'm gonna be honest with you, have not seen it.
I watched like half of it and then I fell asleep. So
shoot. But is that one a musical or is that one of those songs in it? Kind of movies.
Let me check because I know it's based on an older movie with like Barbra Streisand, but I don't know if it's based on a.
Because from what I can tell, she's like a singer, so every time she sings, it's
it's a musical, like it's a stage musical.
Okay.
But but I know the songs in the new movie are like new songs, which is like weird.
In the Lady Gaga one?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Because Shallow was like written by her. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so I'm pretty sure they like changed up the songs or something. I don't know what they did to it, but I just don't like. In the movie itself, nobody really talks about the movie. They just talk about the Shallow, but it was just boring in my opinion.
The movie's okay, yeah. I mean, that's I think another one. Actually, no, we'll go into discussion later. I don't want to say anything yet. I'll say that. Talk about that in a second.
Well, we can get into discussion now. We're done.
Oh, okay.
About our favorites.
Other musicals that like have been, or like this is kind of like a discussion point I wanted to talk to you about is new versus old musicals.
Like new versus old movie musicals,
sorry, to be specific, or even we could go like old, middle, and then like new, because there is like old I would put like, you know, Wizard of Oz, Grease, you know, what is it,
Sound of Music,
like, Sound of Music, all those like really classic 80s 90s. You could even go further, like Singing in the Rain. Those are really, really old ones. But those ones are good. I don't really have a problem with the middle ones. Actually, I really love them. The middle ones that I'm thinking of, like Hairspray. Most of our favorites are in the middle category, right. I'd say, in terms of
like late 2000s, kind of
late 2000s. Yeah, exactly. But or early and / late 2000s. Yeah. Now I want to talk about the new musicals that have been.
Well, there was one thing I just want to say about the old ones. Yeah. It's just like I think some musicals are just kind of meant to be those old movies, like Singing in the Rain.
Yes.
There's like Music Man, like all those old ones. I'm glad that they're just old movies. I'm glad nobody's trying to remake them.
Yeah, I don't think they would translate well.
Because again, like you said, they don't translate well, and they just kind of deserve to stay where they are.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But
no, but I think there's now a movement of making new musicals, because I feel like they're still making Broadway musicals into movies. However, I see more of this like push towards original movie musicals, and by that I mean like they are trying to make what would have been a Broadway play into an actual movie from the get-go, like from the scratch. So
exactly.
La La Land, Greatest Showman.
Greatest Showman is kind of
I can't think of any other, but there are a couple other ones, right? But
it's hard to do an original movie musical because you lose that 100%. Aspect of like the people that knew it from the musical, that kind of thing, and it's hard to write it just for movies because you can get into kind of cheesiness, kind of like Greatest Showman. In my opinion, it was like but
see, like Greatest Showman, to me, I will give them, like, I will defend them in the way of they did do the musical part. Like the music part is very like it's very reminiscent of of like it's a show, and you're like like after the songs you do want to clap. Like that's the feeling I get. Like I'm like, wow. And the singers, especially the girl who plays, I forgot her name, I'm so sorry to her, but the girl who plays the bearded lady, she outdid everyone in that movie. She was like, I was like, put her in more songs. Like, how dare you? 2 songs? Like, how could you do this to us? Like,
that I think was, like, as a movie,
her name is Keala Settle. I need to see her more. I just don't understand.
Put her in more things. I want to see her in everything.
Yes, she is a vocalist. Like, if someone had told me she got training, I'd be like, shut up, don't lie, come on. Like, she could not have. But I'm talking about. But what I wanted to say, I'm getting off track. Sorry.
Okay.
Is why do we? I mean, you may have touched on it. I think we both agree that they're not as good. Like not
like
as
original
good, right?
movie musicals.
The recent ones, I would say, yes.
Yeah. I think so too.
And I think we both think like it has to do with them not pulling from a material. Like that's just harder. Like if you're not going to. But I think their biggest thing is, if I were a person who's like, I want to write a movie musical, I would not start with a story from scratch. I think that's completely.
I was just about to say, I think too much.
I would start with a book. Like I would get a book and be like, this could be a musical. So I would add songs to this. Like I would already get an idea.
Why do I feel like something like that
make
exists?
It to a musical?
Am I crazy?
I'm sure they've done it. That's not definitely.
I can't
not
think
like
of it right now. But
something.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say like the problem I think is when movie musicals in general are really over the top. So when you try to do it original, you don't like people forgive it a bit more if it's based on a musical. You know what I mean? Like if you're watching a movie musical that's super over the top, you're like, oh, well, of course it's over the top. It's based on a Broadway show. But if it's over the top but it's not based on a Broadway show, it can come across as like kind of cheesy and overdone. Like you just in your mind, I feel like you forgive it more. So I feel like they need to be a little bit more careful with the original ones to not kind of lose it, because I think original movie musicals are always done really well for kids. Like High School Musical, Camp Rock, like even Descendants, like the newer ones, because you kind of forgive it for being over the top because again it's for kids. It makes sense. So I think when you're trying to make like the adult oriented movie musicals, like you have to kind of like, I feel it just bothers me because La La Land could have been good if you had just gotten some better songs, some people that could sing, and make a story that wasn't that potential. Like give us something a little more relatable, I think, and it could have been a really good one, but they kind of fumbled the bag with that one.
I just like, I'm telling you, I think they could have picked a book. Just pick one. Pick like a romance book. There's so many romance books out there. You pick one with like somewhat of like a quirky different story.
Right.
And make that a musical. I feel like that would have worked really well. That would have been really simple. And I feel like you have to knock yourself down a peg and realize that you're probably, it's too much for you to write songs and make the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do it. And a lot of, for example, animations do it all the time, right? Specific Disney, but they take years. They go like 4 to 5 years making, you know, sometimes decades doing one movie. So it's like, of course it's going to come out well, because, and it's also animated. So like completely different.
Yeah.
You're allowed to put way more effects and stuff, but it's like, you need to realize that if you're going to do that, it's going to take a long time. Like even though The Greatest Showman was, they still took them 4 to 5 years to finish the songs and the choreography.
Yeah,
so I'm just
say you have to put like, if you're making movies,
like, I'm just saying, and I think
the songs have to be good. Like you can't
exactly, and I think that's
songs.
the reason. I feel like the songs were really good, and they spent 4 to 5 years doing the songs, and then
the Greatest Showman, the songs were good, but then the story was like kind of just annoying.
Yeah, so I feel like they did most of the songs, and then the plot was like, whoops, like we got to do that. Yeah. But I'm
let's write
showing
a story. Okay,
exactly. So I feel like La La Land, if they wanted their songs to be awesome, they needed those 4 to 5 years to make
La La
the
Land
songs
will piss
amazing.
me off forever. Those songs were
forever.
terrible.
Trash. You don't even lean into the jazz. Come on, man. Like, I don't like
it's
it.
a mess.
I didn't even like
a whole mess. No, but yeah, I think like, you know, it's like, it's not as easy as it looks, and I feel like,
of course,
I'd rather just see some more musical adaptations, because it just has the whole heart to it. You know, the whole feeling. If you're gonna do an original one, you better make it good, cause
for sure. Yeah. So Monica, what movie musicals do you want to see?
Oh, let me even start. Okay, so I'll start with the least obvious. Well, actually, I'll just get the obvious ones out of the way. So I do still think a Hamilton movie should be made.
Yes.
I mean, I'm glad, you know, my opinion on that was really strong, but now that they're putting Hamilton on Disney Plus, I think it's a little bit less strong, because I objectively. So, okay, if you've never actually seen Hamilton, it's kind of hard to explain, but Hamilton is very specifically designed for the stage.
Broadway.
So there's parts of the story that make sense. Like the stage tells part of the story. The setting of the stage, the costumes, that kind of thing. I see. Like I could do a whole episode on it. Maybe I'll do an episode on it. Who knows? But it's very specifically made for the stage, so they would have to make some changes to that for the screen, which would be kind of difficult. Like, just one example is in the first act and the second act, some of the actors switch roles. So like one actor will play one character in the first act, but then to play a different character in the second act, and like it's meant to be that way because those two characters have some kind of connection to Hamilton himself. So it just makes sense in that way. But if you put it on a movie, if the actor halfway through the movie played a different character, you'd be really confused, right? So like, would you cast two different people, but then you'd kind of lose that kind of entendre, you know what I mean? So it's kind of confusing to put it onto screen, but I still think it should be made because you know, it's a class. It's like, it's a moneymaker. If you do a movie on Hamilton and you do it well, you're guaranteed a bunch of money, because a lot of people know how iconic it is, know how fantastic it is, but just probably haven't seen it yet. I will say though,
me,
best musical I've ever seen in my life. It was amazing. Yeah, I watched it in Chicago and it was fantastic. I can't wait for it to be on Disney Plus, only because I just can't wait for people to be like, oh, that's what everyone's been talking about. Yeah, it's amazing. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people just haven't seen it. Where are you going to see it? You can't watch, like, unless you somehow find a bootleg online or whatever. But it's not the same. Like, you need to.
And it costs an arm and a leg for the tickets.
Yeah, so and it's the original cast that's going to be on Disney Plus. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And you should, if you're listening to this, you should be excited too. July 3rd, it's going to be on Disney Plus. You should watch it.
July 3rd.
Yeah. But anyway, so for a movie, I just think someone needs to, it's going to be hard, but I think someone needs to just work on it. Someone needs to start doing it, or else you're going to lose that opportunity. Also, Dear Evan Hansen.
I've heard of that one too. I have not.
Yeah, it's also a recent one. It got a lot of buzz. Not as much buzz as Hamilton, but quite a bit of buzz. It was starring Ben Platt on Broadway, who you might know as the guy from Pitch Perfect, the nerdy magic dude.
He's such a good singer.
Dear Evan Hansen's a super amazing story. Like, it's super tear-jerking, and it's modern. It's the only musical that I know of that includes like social media, I think.
Oh. I did not
it's
know
like
that.
it's a modern story. Like, it has to do with social media and like you know, the whole thing of like activism. I don't want to spoil the story, but basically it's a really good story, and I'm pretty sure they're making a movie about it. I don't see why they wouldn't, because it'd be a super easy movie to make, because nothing too crazy happens in it. But I can't wait for that one, because that's going to be really good. I hope Ben Platt's in it. Hello, if it's not Ben Platt, I'm probably not going to watch it.
I'm sure he's gonna, even if he's not it, he would definitely be like behind the scenes. Like, I don't see.
I hope so. Well, his dad is the one producing it. I didn't know his dad was a super famous movie producer, but he is. That's so his dad is producing it. But Dear Evan Hansen,
no way
is
he's not
amazing.
gonna be there. Yeah.
If you probably have heard a song.
Is it about a teen though?
It is.
Is it?
It's like
so.
A
That's
high
why
school.
I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking he might not be in it just for
maybe.
because on Broadway I feel like you can get away with that, but
That's
like in
true.
a movie you would just, it would stick out a little, even though Hollywood has been doing that, but
sense.
I could see him not wanting to do that because of that.
Well, they
reason.
better pick someone good then.
For
but no,
sure.
if you haven't heard of Dear Evan Hansen, I would recommend go and listen to some of the songs, because it's a really good musical. And I want it to be a movie because I feel like it's very fitting for our generation, I guess. But and my last one is I need to see a remake of Kinky Boots. So if you didn't know, Kinky Boots, it's a musical, but it was based on a movie. So it was first a movie and then it was a musical.
I had no idea. I just knew about the musical, period.
Yeah, so the movie was not a musical like the original movie. It was just a movie. Yes. And then it got turned into a Broadway musical. I saw it. I saw the musical. It was really, really good. But I just want to see a remake of it. I want to see a movie musical of it, because you know how the original one is not a musical. So I want to see the musical get turned into a movie. And because the story centers around a drag queen, I want to see an actual drag queen play Lola, who's the character, because from what I know, she's never been played by an actual drag queen. I think maybe in one production here and there and something like that, but in the original movie she was not played by a drag queen, and in the original Broadway musical she was not played by a drag queen. So if you get like a movie starring a drag queen, I think that would be amazing for sure. And it's a really great musical too, and I want to see it in a good movie musical
I definitely
format.
Want to see it, because I had only heard about the musical and I obviously haven't seen it, so I wanted to see that as a movie, because I'm like, I could probably realistically end up seeing that. So I agree, Kinky Boots, and I just think the story's awesome. Like,
it's a really great story.
Really cool. Yes. My other one, just because I've heard, basically the ones I want to see made are all the ones I have not seen in Broadway, and I just want to see it. So another one, I agree with all yours. We should always make them all. Do it. But I also think, I'm glad they're remaking West Side Story a lot.
Me too.
Big on that, because I was kind of like, ooh, I've heard all the controversy about it, so I didn't really want to watch the old one. And I'm like, but I still don't know. It sounds like a really cool story, so I wanted to see it. So that's awesome. Another one is Wicked. I've just heard so much about Wicked.
I forgot about that one.
Are you
every musical theater nerd is like, Wicked, oh my god.
Yes. And I'm like, bruh, I don't even know what. I know it's about a witch. That's it. I really don't know much about it.
It's a retelling of The Wizard of Oz, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. So I want to see it. Honestly, I'm like, why haven't they done it yet? It was so popular.
I don't know, unless it was, but we just didn't. Maybe it was bad. I don't know.
I really don't think so. And I feel like I would have known, because Idina Menzel played her most of the time, so I feel like they would have played that up 100%. But I just don't get why it hasn't been done, because Disney owns the Broadway play, and it just seems like they love money. Why wouldn't they just do that? It seems weird, logical to me. So I wanted to see that as a play. Even I would be even open for them to make it animation too. I think that would be really cool too, because she is a green witch, so I feel like you could totally make that more realistic looking with a cartoon or a animated version. And also it would introduce it to kids too, and kids are
apparently the movie was supposed to come out in December 2021, but they put it on hold because of Corona.
See, there you go.
So it's being made, I think. But
okay, I guess they were probably still shooting, but not anymore. But that sucks.
I think they're just Oh my God! Wait, it was supposed to be released, but then they gave the release date to Cats instead. They're probably regretting that so much.
Oh,
but no, I think it's gonna
dummies.
be one of those movies that's in like what is it called, production hell or whatever it's called, where it takes like a bunch of years to get off the ground, probably.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
Nah.
They should make it, and they listened to me already.
And the
So,
thing with
there you
Wicked
go.
too is they could probably get, because the original one stars Indina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth, who are two like super iconic Broadway
stars,
actresses, and you've probably seen them in a bunch of movies, and they could easily just put them in it to like in the movie, because they're witches, they're not supposed to be a certain age.
Yeah, no.
So I think it could totally work, and I would like to see it.
I think it would be really a fun thing to watch, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And also I'm always like we've talked about, there is a barrier when it comes to watching a lot of Broadway plays due to the financial aspect of it. So I'm like, whenever you can make it more accessible to people, it's almost like I feel bad sometimes too, because I feel like there's a little bit of elitism in Broadway. Like,
there 100% is.
Yeah, like when I feel like I'm like, oh my gosh, like you haven't seen it, and then I kind of have to check myself and be like, okay, you know what? Not everyone can go watch Les Mis on the 75th anniversary. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is a luxury in a sense. So,
and even
I
just
want them
depending
to
on where you live, because like they don't come, like they have to physically come to you, and
that's so true, because like we live near Toronto, so we could just go. But and Toronto's a big city for Broadway, period. So. But like if you live somewhere else, it's like you have to travel and pay the tickets. Like,
it's just not. So if any time to make movies out of it, it's a great time. And I feel like watching a movie musical in the movie theater is an experience, like just with the song, like surround sound. You know, I think it's great.
I don't know. I'm so. I want to see a Broadway play now. I know we can't.
I was supposed to go see Hamilton in April, but it got canceled.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, but what happened?
Canceled.
Did you get your refund or something?
Yeah, I got refunded.
Okay, at least
for
that's
Corona.
Good. You know what I've always wanted to see? We're gonna go off topic, but I don't care. It's still on topic, kind of. I wanted to see Anastasia is one of my favorite movies,
my God,
and
I
wanted to see the Broadway play. And my roommate, I can't believe in first year, she left for the weekend and she came back and she's like, oh yeah, I went to New York and I saw the play, and I was like, what? Like, I literally fell on the floor and I was like, how come?
Oh my God.
I didn't know about this.
Remember when they like first announced that it was gonna be a musical, and I was like, yes. But yeah,
I can't believe I haven't seen it.
I'm also really freaking sad that In the Heights, the movie, it got postponed. I have been I've been looking forward to the In the Heights movie since 2015, probably around the time where I got into Hamilton. I also got into In the Heights at the same time. It's another musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda, but it's being made. The movie is made. They have the file. You know what? It's literally ready, but it was supposed to be released this month, but because of Miss Rona, it's being postponed, and I'm so angry.
So ugly.
Because In the Heights is it's such a good musical, and the trailer is so promising for the movie. Like the casting was great. They got like nobodies, kind of. Except like Anthony Ramos. I would literally do anything for that man. He is
what was he in?
He was in Hamilton.
Okay.
Well, he's also in a show called She's Gotta Have It. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, that's on the show that they made, the show version. Yes.
Yeah, I think he's in that one. But I know him from Hamilton. He was in the original. So you're gonna see him on Disney Plus. If you watch the Hamilton recording.
Oh, Stephanie Beatrice is in it. The girl from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the Latina police girl.
Is she? Oh, that's where I saw. Okay, never mind. But yeah, they got kind of nobodies, but also like good actors. Like they had the guy from Straight Outta Compton too. But anyways, the music, like the movie looks super promising. I'm super excited, but we can't watch it yet, so I'm kind of mad about that.
I know. But you know what? I wouldn't want them to release it early and then
it deserves a theatrical release.
So it's like we're sad, but we're also like, you're doing the right thing. So.
Yeah, I'm just sad that Rona had to come and ruin it. That's why it's
ugly.
I've been waiting for this for so long.
There's so many movies I was ready for. Don't ask me what their names are, but I was ready. Okay,
I'll take your word for it. But anyways, I think the point is, if you're not into movie musicals, I'm just gonna assume you don't like happiness. Let yourself be happy for once, okay, and go watch a movie musical.
You're probably one of those people who doesn't like music, and that's already a red flag. Like, I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what?
Just go watch Hairspray. That's the point of this thing. Just watch Hairspray.
Yes, I think we can both agree. If you don't watch it, I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna come over and sing the songs in your ear until you do.
Oh my God,
I'm
I'll do the full choreography.
Oh yeah,
everything.
I have a couple friends who haven't seen it yet, and I've been trying to get them to watch it.
That's so rude. But who hasn't? It's like a childhood staple. It came out in like 2008 or something like that. Like, did nobody else watch it around that time?
So to be fair to them, like when I first saw it, like in the movie or on TV or whatever, they did like this big warning. Like they were like, warning, like big language, blah blah blah. And I think I was like, maybe we were like 8, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, but thankfully my parents were not there. and then when it started and they found it, and then obviously they dropped the N-bomb all over because it's historically accurate. Oh, my parents were like, oh no, this is good lessons for you, because they wanted me to see what segregation looked like. So they were like, oh,
I mean, yeah, I guess it could be an interesting like introduction, I guess, for like younger children, I guess.
So I can see maybe why people didn't grow up with it, because it does have that warning on it. So maybe if like parents are like,
I remember
we don't know about
having
this.
it on DVD at home.
Oh,
that's what
I watched it. It premiered on TV. That's what I remember. Like watching it.
Yeah. No, what a great movie.
It was a straight to DVD TV release, I think, right? Am I wrong?
No, it was in theaters.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, maybe
I don't know. I can imagine. It was.
I mean, it makes sense.
Anyways,
whatever, we're just getting off track.
All right, I guess we'll end it here.
Yes, we will.
So the usual, go follow us on Instagram at FlickShicksPod, subscribe, leave us a rating. We just want you to listen to us talk. That's all.
Yes,
just listening is enough for us. So yeah, we're gonna catch you next week, and next week is gonna be a very special episode. You get to hear me talk for 15 minutes straight. I haven't decided what I'm going to be ranting about yet, but just know it's going to be good.
It'll come to you. That's how it goes.
Oh yeah, I could rant about many things. I think that's my problem. I don't know what to pick. So yeah, we'll catch you guys later.
All right, bye.